4 down for 5. Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. All right, new patch notes are here. Patch notes 11.1. Let's get started. Usually I do this on stream and stuff, but I'm not streaming currently, so let's just record all this. I have no idea what anything is in here, so we shall see. So welcome to the Elder Scrolls Online 11v1 and our latest content release, Feast of Shadows Dungeon Pack and Update 47. Awesome. This is a continuation of the Season of the Wormcult content pass. Awesome. 2 brand new dungeons. We already saw that. That's pretty cool, I guess. I mean, it feels pretty much the same old. Nothing really too game-changing. 2 dungeons. That's what they usually do. In addition to new dungeons, new events, Battle for the Writhing Wall will be available for test during the PTS period. Taking down the Writhing Wall is a large effort, and every action counts. Okay, that seems like another just world boss kind of thing. Kind of how they have like the cyclone things in Markarth and all that stuff. Okay, cool. Looks interesting. Awesome. There are several base game quality of life features coming in Update 47 as well, including stackable survey reports. I think that's pretty cool. That's some nice quality of life stuff. Quest dialogue replay. Okay. And mount swimming. The mount swimming stuff is pretty cool, I guess. I mean, it's interesting. It's interesting. All right. All PSN characters have been copied this week. Otherwise, okay. So we can do this. If you want to log onto the PTS, you can do it with your PCNA characters. I might be able to do that. Interesting. So let's get started. Let's just scroll down past this. I do eventually want to see the changes that they made to certain skills and everything, because I feel like it's probably going to be interesting with that. So 2 new dungeons. Okay. Look, we'll figure it out when time goes on. I don't really need to talk to you guys about dungeons. Like, I'm not going to waste your guys' time. It's just dungeons, right? Both dungeons include a normal version in addition to veteran version. Yep, and hard mode. Yep, that's all pretty basic. Unique skill styles. The weakness to element orange skill style will be available for the Vanquisher of Naj Kaldish. Cool. Orange, that's pretty cool. Fire Rune will be dazzling white. Okay, I don't really use that skill, but for the people that do, it's a nice little addition. Cool. Unique skin, Zanmir Defender. It's going to be a skin. I'm going to be honest, I don't really get too excited whenever I see Zanmir or anything like Argonian related. I find it to be not the best aesthetic. It's not my personal thing, but hey, if you like that, cool. New skin in the game. Plus, it's a free skin, so I always like that. 2 unique mementos. Okay, unique dye, weathered keystone green. Hey, look, I always like the new dyes as well. And then several titles, unique housing items. Okay, Battle for the Writhing Wall, Phase 1 and Phase 2 of the event are available for completion. Travel to Solstice to support the Fellowship siege camps against the front lines, or provide supplies for the front warfare. Okay, so basically, you're just going to be... Okay, all right, interesting. Siege camp, new siege camps, incursions. Okay. World's boss in Phase 2 of the event, Gizor joins the fight on Solstice. Okay. It's not really my thing. I don't really know much about that. Doesn't really do much for me as far as enjoyment. But for those that like that kind of stuff, cool. I hope that you like it. It's not my thing. This is something that they talked about during the live test. The live announcement is Infinite Archive Vision Reroll, which is interesting. I don't know how I feel about that. You now have the opportunity to use Archival Fortunes to reroll your possible vision selections when presented. So basically, if you get options for some bad ones and you're like, I want to, gamble and maybe get a better one, you can do that. So that's cool. All right. Mount swimming, I think that's cool. It's a nice little quality of life thing that's going to save you a lot of time when you like barely clip the water. Cool. Awesome. Mount swimming. That being said, is it going to be able to go through Slaughterfish? You're probably going to still take damage from Slaughterfish, but you might be able to get a little bit farther. So we'll see. Dodge roll visualization. I can't use words. It changes a new visual indicator to convey increased stamina cost. Okay, cool. Ooh, aid in quick succession too. Cool. Cyrodiil Vengeance testing round 3. Cyrodiil Vengeance round 3, guys. Listen. Vengeance testing round 3. Various systems have been turned on for this testing round to see what overhead they could contribute to overall performance. Sky shards, mount selection, along with any collectibles allowed in Cyrodiil, titles, achievements have been re-enabled. Okay, that's just quality of life stuff. Okay, I like the sky shards and stuff because if you don't have sky shards and you want to go into Cyrodiil to get them, that's how you do it, right? Meat bag catapults are back. That's I don't like that. I don't like that. However, they no longer leave a groundlinger effect and only okay. Okay, that's cool actually. Only affect players on impact. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't bother me too much. Mages and Fighters Guild skill lines have been added again with tailored abilities for performance. Okay, well look, we're gonna all have Dawnbreaker this time. A new armor skill line has been added, which includes all 3 active abilities for light, medium, and heavy armor tailored for performance. Okay, so we're gonna get passives, it seems like, and we're gonna get Fighters Guild skill line. Okay, Mages Guild. Okay, we're gonna get Meteor too. I forgot about that. Okay. I wonder when this is. I hope that Vengeance isn't the only campaign when they do that. I had a video on that I released literally this morning, so we're going to be doing 2 videos in one day. Big time gamers out here. I wish that the Vengeance wouldn't be the only thing that they're testing on the next time. Like I wish that they had Grey Host alongside Vengeance, but that's a conversation for another day. New homes, don't care personally. New furnishings, don't care personally. There will be usually high, okay. Okay, that's just template, like, stuff to make it look cleaner. All right. All right, so combat and gameplay. Update the visual effects. All right. Many fear sources. Okay, blocking no longer fails. Okay, I mean, this is just a lot of, like, quality of life stuff, fixed issues. I don't really need to get into, like, oh, I'm gonna read you guys all the issues that they're fixing. I don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. If you guys want to read all this in total, I will have the link to this in the description of this video, but I'm not going to read you guys everything. I'm just going to read the stuff that's a big change to me. The following passives grant unique forms of ultimate when me and their conditions have been converted to grant major and minor heroism to when stacking one another. The total amount of ultimate grants will be identical and not stacked with additional sources. It will take more time to generate. Okay. So some other things, they are changing some sources of heroism as well. So, all right, interesting. All right, so here are all of the... Okay, so here are all of the skills that looks like that they're changing. Barrier. I don't care. I don't care about barrier. I don't care about the Wonderful Ultimate. I don't care about that. I don't think many people use that. I think it's only like a ball group kind of thing. Evil Hunter is damage bonus now granted from the morph, now applies damage for... Okay, doesn't bother me. Meteor, this morph now ranks down to a cost of 185. This ultimate generation now grants 10 ultimate per enemy hit up to a maximum of 6 times rather than 9 to 12 based on rank with no limit. Okay. Look, that's probably a lot more consistent ults that you're getting. I'm still not going to use Meteor, but that's interesting. That's good. It's a good way to go. Necromancer, fix an issue. That's it? All you're doing with Necromancer is fixing an issue? That's all? 2 of the skill lines are kind of useless now. Okay. Okay. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to judge. Assassination. Grim focus this ability and is more of now grant major I'm sorry. I know that usually in YouTube videos, you need to just continuously talk and keep things entertaining. Nightblade is the most favorite child from ZeniMax, and it's not even close. I'm sorry, guys. It's not even close. It's crazy how much Nightblade is just the favorite child. Grim Focus, the most overpowered ability in the game, just for having this slotted is going to give you major prophecy and savagery. Wow! Like, yeah, you're not going to be getting the weapon and spell damage per stack. Okay. I would take major prophecy and savagery. That way I can get an extra slot in my bar. That way I don't have to slot Camel Hunter. Wowee. Wowee, wowee, wowee. That is a crazy change where I'm just curious what hat they pulled that one from. Shadow, let's move on to that one. Also, relentless focus rank downs in cost. There's no weapon and spell damage granted per stack any longer. Instead, the morph reduces the number of stacks needed to activate the ability to 4 down for Oh, that's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Bro, that's crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, Shadow. Shadow Cloak. This ability in this Shadow Disguise morph now great minor protection for sliding on either bar rather than major prophecy and savagery. Yeah, you had to switch it around. I get it. I don't think many people are really gonna be using that. So subclassing now, assassination has been the most OP skill line since subclassing came out, and they just made it even stronger. By the way, guys, they just made it even stronger. So that's crazy. Dark Cloak, bonus health. Okay, who cares about that? Daedric Summoning, Bound Armor. This ability and Bound Aegis now passively grant major resolve for slot on either bar rather than granting minor protection and increasing your max magic by 5 to 8%. And then also Bound Ornaments, this morph now grants major sorcery and prophecy rather than 8% stamina. So is Bound Ornaments, is that still this ability and the Bound Aegis morph? Okay, so Bound Ornaments is only going to give you major prophecy and savagery, but the regular one won't give you. Okay, that's weird. That's weird. That's a weird way to switch things up a little bit. Dark Magic, Dark Exchange, Dark. This morph no longer grants minor force. This morph's minor berserk is no longer half as long as the base ability. Okay, so you just get minor berserk. Okay. Okay, interesting. That's Sork's taking a hit a little bit. Okay, like who cares about the minor berserk all the time? Okay, whatever. Lightning form. This ability and its morph now grant minor force while active rather than major result. So Hurricane isn't your source of major resolve anymore. And whose idea was that? So for Sork, you need to, especially with the especially with the bound armor morph, you need to do that. You need to do, say, Danger Summoning skill line for major resolve. I'm so curious as to where they get some of this stuff from. That is, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't want to make this video and just be like, wow, what dumb changes. But I gotta say, what dumb changes. Holy, that's bad. They are just like, they're just shuffling things around without any thought. Like, bro, you need to run this morph in order to get major resolve. Like, yeah, you need to do this one to get major resolve earlier, but at least it was like, it was a really strong ability with major force, and then also the all the AoE around you. That's crazy, dude. Resto staff. Blessing and protection, fix an issue, fix an issue. Don't care about fix an issue. That's fine. Berserker Strike. This morphs crowd control immunity and now is working as intent. Was it not working? Okay, whatever. All right. Wow. Adjust the company. Okay, that's not actually. So that's all the changes that they made. We've had so far. We've had a month. But this is the first set of patch notes. We've had a month since subclassing dropped, and you can clearly tell what's overperforming, aka Assassination and Nightblade. And then what's also very strong as well, Storm Calling for Sorcerer, incredibly strong as well. One gets butchered and changed and just like disfigured, while the other one just gets insanely buffed. Like, I'm sorry, but there's nothing you can say to me at this point that isn't going to tell me that Nightblade is Zos's favorite child. Like, wow. I mean, it makes sense. Like, look, Nightblade's the most beginner friendly and the most. I think as a whole, the community loves Nightblade the most, and it makes sense to keep on buffing them. I get it. All right, Crafted says Highland Sentinel. The set now passively grants up to 986 critical rating while wearing 5 or more pieces. Okay. I don't really know which one that is. All right. Anyways, Rush of Agony. The set no longer pulls enemy to the caster after this delay, but instead creates an area of effect at the initial location, pulling enemies to it. Okay. Interesting. I want to see that in action, but Okay. So that's pretty cool because you can probably place down like Desert or other things in the meantime, and like it's a little bit more cohesive. That's interesting. That's interesting. Wow. Monster Mass Battle Org. This set now requires you to be in combat to activate its effects. Okay, I think that's cool. I mean, I think it always should have done that. I think most sets should do that, but what do I know? Netch Oil, fix an issue. I don't care about the fix an issue. Trial sets, Reliquin, fix an issue. Don't care about that. Any other good ones that I don't care too much about. Trial sets, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I'm sorry. I just don't care. I don't care about trial sets. New sets, Black Gem Foundry. All right, so the sets from Black Gem Foundry, which are the one dungeon, Black Foundry Steel, which is heavy, max health, max stam, automatically block for 2 seconds at no cost. You're being heavy to after you begin a heavy attack and 12-second cooldown. Okay, is that a PV set? Is that something for PV? I don't know. The monster set is going to be penetration. While in combat, casting a soul magic ability to consumes a soul gem and gives you a black gem splitter for 10 seconds, a 6-second cooldown, dealing light or heavy attack damages the fire black gem splitter at your target, dealing 17.1% of your target's max health has a magic damage up to 17.1 thousand. Okay, wow. Dealing light or heavy attack damages the fire. Okay, so this is on a 6-second cooldown, and it does 17% of somebody's health. So say you go into PvP, right? Say you go into PvP. The average person has like, let's say 31,000 health, right? Times that by 0.17. This is going to be doing a maximum of like 5,200 damage. Interesting in theory, but I think that with all the other stuff in the game, I don't think it's going to be that great of a. I don't think it's going to be that great of an ability, or of a monster set. I think that it's just. I think it's another one personally. I don't know if it's going to be good for PvE or not, but don't know. The light one, health recovery. Wow, health recovery in this economy. Magic recovery, magic, uncasting ultimate, grant magic stamina back. Okay, I mean you're just getting recovery. Nothing important. Like uncasting ultimate, grant magica, stamina, and health recovery for 2 seconds per 20 ultimate spent on you, and up to 3 group members within 28 meters of you. How much recovery though are we talking about? How much are we talking about? Like something interesting as far as like recovery? Like, are we talking about like grant 500 recovery, like right, grant 1,000 recovery per 2 seconds? Or are we talking about like gain like 100? I'm curious as to what the exact numbers are on that, but we'll see. This one, crit chance, offensive pen, weapon damage. That's cool. That's a really good 2, 3, 4 piece. Dealing damage with a fully heavy attack. All right, you lost me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just, when the conditions are dealing damage with a full heavy attack, I'm sorry, you lose me. Gives you major force, major berserk, or major courage for 12 seconds on a 9-second cooldown. Okay, it's like a heavy attack trickery, basically. All right. Not really too impressed with anything there. I don't really need to do anything in that dungeon personally. The monster set for the other one, though, is max health. While in combat, performing a roll dodge creates a 6-meter pool of blood, 10-second cooldown. After 1 second delay, enemies in the pool take magic damage at scale off your max health. Gain a 6-second damage shield based on how much the total damage is done. The pool capped at 15,000 damage. I'm not for PvP. This is coming from a PvP perspective. When you have sets that do damage in a small area and you can't move that, to me, I find that useless. That's a good PvE thing. That's not a good PvP thing, because anybody with a brain is going to see that pool and then go to the side. So I'm good on that. The heavy armor is healing taken, stamina. Taunting an enemy applies a major vulnerability to them for 12 seconds, 15-second cooldown. Okay, that might be a good PvE tank build. All right, that's fine. Medium is crit chance, weapon, and spell damage crit chance. I like the 2, 3, 4 piece. Dealing direct damage with a non-heavy attack. Applies a stack on you for 5 seconds. 1 second cooldown, 4 stack max. Okay, you can get it pretty quickly. You can get it within 4 seconds. Dealing damage to an enemy with a fully charged heavy attack. Again, what's with the fully charged heavy attacks? Bro! Consumes the stacks and causes a blade to strike your enemy down below them, dealing physical damage per stack and applying the standard status effects. Okay, I'm curious about that. That might be good damage. I'm curious to see what the tooltip on that is, because having standard status effect is pretty cool. And then on top of that, I'm curious just to see how much damage the heavy attack does, because comboing the heavy attack damage with whatever the tooltip of this set is, it might be interesting because it's not percentage based, it looks like. So we shall see. Whenever this comes out, I want to see what the cooldown, the tooltip is. So we'll see. Light armor, crit chance, weapon spell damage, really good 2, 3, 4 piece. The 5 piece is increases your damage done with flame, shock, and frost by 5%. Increases the damage of burning, chilling, concussion by 15%. Ooh. Wow. I kind of like that. The only bad part about that is it's a light armor set, and I've been loving Rallying Cry in this economy, and to double up on 2 light armor sets is terrible. But that's a really good idea. If you do something like Trickery or something back bar instead of Rallying Cry for once, that might be bad. That might not be bad. Interesting. All right. So the new sets from rewards: the Worthy Coup de Grace, medium. Weapon spell damage, max stamina, weapon spell damage. Not a big fan of max stamina. You don't really need max stats in this game. So yeah. Whenever you deal damage and immobilize, when you damage an immobilized enemy, apply major volume to them for 3 seconds, 1 second cooldown. Okay. I mean, that's kind of like that's like an old DK set. Like, that's not really going to be like a current subclassing set. That's like, if you added this before subclassing, DKs would have been like, woo, let's go. But I don't know. Spell Shredder light, offensive pen, crit chance, pretty good 2, 3, 4 piece. 5 piece is increase your damage jump by 2% for each damage, shield, and heal over time effect on your target. Okay, I mean, okay. Like, oh my god, my damage is increased by 4% because I've got 2 dots on them, or hots on them. Yeah, I'm gonna use an entire 5-piece set on that. What? Unflinching ultimate. Max health, armor. That's good for a heavy, I get it. Gain 1 second of CC immunity after casting ultimate for each 20 ultimate spent. Okay. All right, well, they don't want to be stunned. All right, cool. Not really too impressed by that. The only one that I'm really interested in is the I actually do like the Zamir Spellweaver. I think that's interesting. Really sad that it's light armor, but honestly, at the end of the day, I'm actually probably pretty happy with that. All right, so, and also the non-heavy heavy attack one looks pretty good. So anything else interesting for here? I don't really think so. Nothing else really. It's just all fixing quest stuff. Fixing quest. All right. I don't think I'm really missing much. If I am, I apologize. I'm looking through because I just want to just double check. Okay, so Vengeance Test 3, various system. Okay, Meat Bags are back. Okay, that's a new. Okay, that's exactly what I read in the beginning. I wish that they would have done that. And Endeavors and Golden Pursuits. All right, all the same. All the same. Yep, this basically looks all the same. Nothing else really too crazy. Furniture, general energy sustainability, the settings menu you can now adjust to whether. Okay, yeah, again, it's all the same. Okay, cool. All right, well, that is everything with the new patch notes. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, let me know. Are you curious about the Nightblade changes? Because I am. Let me know though, because that's something that's kind of interesting to me. Appreciate it if you could like this video, comment on the video if you can. Just comment anything. It doesn't bother me. And if you can, do me a giant favor and hit that subscribe button for me. I'd highly appreciate that. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.